Okay, perfect. So joining in, we have Code the Odds for Week 11. We're gonna be talking about ball on our top 7 games. Code the Odds, how you doing today?
I'm feeling really good, man. How are you?
I'm doing
I'm
good, doing
excited.
good. Can't wait to talk about ball. I know I took last week off, a lot of traveling, but I'm down, excited. And the first game I want to talk about is the Green Bay Packers versus the New York Giants. I know right now the line's at 7. As a Packer fan myself, I'm not too happy about how this team's performing. The play calling has been stagnant. The offensive line isn't holding up. The defense, championship defense, they can. If you're holding the Eagles to 10 points, you pretty much have a chance to pretty much dominate. But a lot has been rough, and Matt LaFleur is going to the New York Giants, going to MetLife Stadium, where he is 0-2 against the Giants.
Wow.
Do
I
they
did not
lose?
know that stat, bro. I
Yeah,
did not
LaFleur
know that.
has not been the New York Giants since he's been a coach for the Green Bay Packers. They lost to Daniel Jones, I believe, out in London, and then they lost
Yes,
on the
with Aaron
prime,
Rodgers.
and then they lost on prime time against Tommy DeVito.
Oh yeah, bro. That's actually a crazy stat.
That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know both of those times they didn't have the best defensive coordinator. Their coordinator was Joe Barry. Now they have Jeff Hafley as their defensive coordinator. So I'm hoping that the defense could be a lot better. But something has to go on with this play calling on the offense. I know that Matt LaFleur really needs to get going because if the Green Bay Packers drop this game, they might as well just leave him in MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, man. It's really getting do or die for you guys. I think Halfley's been really good on the defensive side of the ball, but your offense has been the problem this year, and that's like not something that I saw coming. Do you agree with that? Like, do you think that the offense is the number one problem or the coaching? Certainly, it's not the defense.
I want to say it's the coaching. I think execution has been a really big problem for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, I know the first year with Jordan Love, they went 9-8. There were good. There were games that they looked hot, they looked slow. And then last year, they couldn't beat bad team. They couldn't beat good teams, but they were beating on bad teams. And then now this year, they're looking good against good teams, but can't beat against bad. I think that right there is just a coaching issue. That
Yeah,
you can't get your teams up to par and playing dominant on 3 phases. The one thing that I'm thinking about is I think Matt LaFleur tends to be the smartest person in the room and tends to be too creative. And having your offensive coordinator, Adam Stenovich, who is your former offensive line coach, where he's kind of looking like a clipboard holder, and I don't feel like he's really in LaFleur's ear saying, hey, like, this is what we should do. Like, I feel like there is a disconnect. I know when LaFleur was doing well during the Rodgers era, Rodgers was audible at the line of scrimmage. Nathaniel Hackett was there. So there's a lot of different opinions there. But I just feel like with Matt LaFleur running the show and everyone kind of just abiding to him only, I just feel like there isn't fire on that team.
I agree, man. And a lot of it, like, people are forgetting that, like, your best receiver hasn't even played a snap of football yet. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like the weapons have not been good for Jay Love. Like, we saw a lot of drops on Monday night. I mean, wouldn't you agree that there was a ton of drops?
Ton of drops. I know Bo Melton had one. I know there was a situation where Love threw one down the field to Christian Watson, and I think there was an opportunity where he could have just turned around and jumped high because he's been good with jump balls. And I
Yeah.
think he played defense, like swiping the ball down as opposed to getting up and getting it. I
Yeah, that
know
was not a good look.
I know Dobbs had a tough one. I believe it was on third and fourth down. So I feel like it's rough. I just feel like drops had been an issue in that last game. And it's a big blow to this Packers offense, especially without Tucker Kraft. I mean, Luke
Yeah,
Musgrave
that
is
too.
not Kraft.
I mean, you guys played your what, like D plus C minus game, and you still had a chance at the end. Like, I mean, that just proves that they're like a legit team. But it's just the execution needs to be a lot better. I mean, Jordan Love needs to get these guys in better scoring position to,
Right.
to
And
capitalize.
right. And what I worry the most is about this Packers offensive line. Their center, Elton Jenkins, has a fractured leg. He may not even come back
Yeah,
this
I saw
season.
that.
So now they have a backup center who was the starting right guard in Sean Ryan, and now you have to prepare against Dexter Lawrence on an every down beat. Like you can't.
Yeah, that's a bad matchup, man. That's a
Like
really bad matchup.
I feel like Jordan Love is going to be uncomfortable during that game because I don't see anyone on that line consistently protecting Love against Abdul Carter. I know Thibodeau is not playing, but Carter is so fast, and then you have Dexter Lawrence, then you have Brian Burns, and It's going to be a tough matchup for this offensive line.
The Giants' defense is stacked. They are really stacked.
Yeah,
I completely agree that if they get pressure on Love, things can get ugly. But if we really want to start talking about this game, I think that I think the under would look good because the
yeah.
teams have both good defenses and it's going to be windy. I don't know if you checked the weather report, but in MetLife, when those games get cold and windy, I feel like they just turn into defensive showdowns, kind of like what we've seen in Soldier Field last week. So I feel like I don't know what it is, and I can't officially advise a play until I run the algorithm later. For
Right.
those of you who are watching that don't know, I have an algorithm where every Saturday night I run it and get the plays from that because we have like a ton of data and a ton of success on the algorithm. But I feel like the under would be a good look, especially with them on their third string quarterback. I mean, right?
I believe so. I know Jameis Winston is going to be slinging the ball a lot in this game. There hasn't been much tape on him this year, so you don't know what to expect from Jameis, but Jameis Winston is a gunslinger. A stat that I read is that believe in Jameis Winston's career against the Green Bay Packers, he has 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 120 plus passer rating.
Wow, that's actually kind of nuts. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Maybe we do see like a Kafka and Jameis Winston resurgence. I mean,
that's what I'm
sometimes
saying.
when a coach gets fired, they come out firing their first game with a new coach.
Right, right. And I believe from what I read, I don't know how true this is, but I feel like whenever there's like a mid-season firing, sometimes the underdog covers a lot from what I've read.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
no, I believe that. I believe
yeah,
that. Yeah, there's like a new coach bounce for sure.
right.
But what I was surprised to see in this game is that the public is on the Packers here, covering this big number.
I don't like
And
it.
to me, that's kind of crazy that they would have that much confidence in the Packers after what we just saw, right?
I don't like it. And I'm a fan. I don't like it. Like the past 4 road games, the Packers are 1-3 covering. Past 4 home games for the Giants, they're 2-2. And I believe in the last 2 games, the Giants have been like +7. They've 2-0 covered.
Yeah, they've been pretty good for us this season. But
And
the real question is that, and this is what I need to figure out for my algorithm. We have a math formula that accounts for the differences in between players. For example, like I would say Jackson Dart is, if he was playing, this line would be like Green Bay -3.5, Green Bay -4 if Jackson
wow.
Dart was playing. But the real question is what's the difference in points between Dart and Jameis Winston? Like that's the real question. Is it like 4 point difference? Maybe 4.5 point difference? I don't know. three
I
point
don't know.
difference? Like what would
I
you guess? Because I'm gonna figure it out later, but I'm curious, what do you think it would be?
I probably want to say 2-3. The reason being is because Winston just has that NFL experience in terms of
Mm-hmm.
just reading defenses coverages than Jackson Dart. So I think in terms of just NFL experience of being a starter, I just don't feel like the gap is that huge between Winston and Dart. I know Dart's like dual threat ability, he's been doing well, but I just feel like Winston is still a backup quarterback. He can be a starter if need be, but I just feel like just the experience and just him having just like I'm throwing it no matter what kind of
Yeah.
attitude, anticipation. Like he's not holding the ball too long in the pocket. I see my reads, I'm throwing it.
Yeah, I respect that. I respect that take and I agree with it. But at the same time, I'm really confused as to, and listen, like Russell Wilson is who he is. Like he's a great guy, but like I don't think that he's the option for them right now. And I kind of agree with them moving on to Jameis this week. I wanted your opinion. If you were the Giants OC or head coach, like would you be throwing in Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston for this game? Because it's definitely really close. It's really close.
I am starting Winston.
Right? I slightly agree. I would go in with the third string. I would.
Wilson has not looked good. If
Yeah.
Wilson was starting, I'll be probably all over the Packers because Wilson just hasn't looked good. But with Winston, I think he kind of gives him a shot a little bit. Like not maybe I don't know outright win. That might be too juicy. But I wouldn't blow it past me if the Packers are 0-2 under LaFleur against the Giants.
Yeah, I really think, especially given like all the criticism from last week and the past that he's 0-2 versus the Giants, I think we're going to see some sort of response from LaFleur this week. We can't really say, like that could be like in limited fashion. We don't know if it's going to be the Packers putting up 30 plus. But I think we're going to see some sort of response. I think he might take a couple shots. I don't think he's going to be conservative because of every single thing that's been going on in the media this week. Like, he's been getting killed in the media this week.
Yeah, yeah. And on top of that, I mean, the Giants are probably looking at a new head coach. Jeff Hafley's right there in that booth calling defensive coverage. This could probably be like a little interview for Jeff Hafley at MetLife.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Born and raised in New Jersey, was a head coach at Boston College. Like, him going back home and running his own ship with that pass rush that the Giants have, that's going to be an interesting team for him to apply for.
I think that he's one of the favorites
I think so.
to become the coach.
If the Packers don't fire LaFleur and they keep LaFleur for another year, Hafley's being a head coach somewhere next year.
Yeah, well, dude, I don't think that they're going to fire LaFleur. Do you legitimately think that they might fire him this year? They like somehow missed the playoffs or something? Maybe.
If they miss the playoffs, I'm probably leaning 80% chance fired.
Wow.
Because,
yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I don't think that they will fire him, honestly. I think the Packers are still chilling. I think they're going to still make the playoffs.
I think they should make the playoffs. I feel like if they miss it, I think there might be some hard conversations about renewing his contract. I know they like Ed Policy is like trying to think about what they're going to do with like Ryan Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur's like contract future. But if they miss the playoffs, because I know ever since Rodgers left, like LaFleur hasn't won the division. I understand taking the youngest team to the playoffs is a good accomplishment, but when you're making the 7th seed multiple times, it's like, all right, you're good, but not good enough type of team.
Yeah, no doubt.
And you know how the Packer fan base, you know, they hold themselves to a very, very high standard. I mean, 7 years as a head coach with no ring, it's like, what are we doing? Because like this is Lambeau City.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that fans in general are too quick to just be like, fire the head coach, like we saw it with Brian Dable. This year there's been like people screaming, fire Matt LaFleur, fire Mike McDaniel in Miami. Like, everyone should be fired. I don't know. I think that these guys still need like a chance, honestly.
Right. I think if anything, I think LaFleur just needs to have like a true offensive coordinator by his hip to be like, all right, you're seeing this, but this is what I see. Let's go this way. I think he needs someone in his ear to be like, yo, chill. Like, we need to go this way.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, honestly.
The play calling reminds me a lot like 2018 Mike McCarthy. And I've seen it firsthand where like you have prime Rodgers, but why are you running the ball 20 to 25 times? Like, it's very like McCarthy-ish before he got fired.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from my Packer fan friends, honestly. That's funny.
But if I were to at least take a bet in this game, I would probably take it from a 7 to a 10.5 for the Giants. I'm taking the Giants side on this one.
Okay, wow. I don't know if I would lean the Giants spread, but the public is on the Packers, and I do like Jameis Winston. But I feel like my play would be the under, just seeing that there's 15 to 20 mile per hour winds.
Yes, going to be very gusty. I won't be surprised if McManus misses a field goal or two, honestly.
Yeah, you never know. He's been kind of shaky this year, especially at Heinz Field.
Yeah, and the Packers have yet to cover a double-digit spread all season. So, as someone that's kind of written, not want to say right off the Packers, but someone that doesn't really trust the Packers spread-wise, I'll probably give it a 10.5, taking the Giants side. But you're not wrong about the under. The Green Bay Packers have not done well scoring points in the first half, so I can see it being a very slow start on both sides.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely in the realm of possibility.
So for the next game we could talk about the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you have any take on this game?
Yeah, I do, honestly. And first of all, I just wanted to make sure. So you can't see me right now? Is the camera not working?
Yeah, I think I can hear you, like good audio. I think it just might be like the like just you on the camera. I think it might be like the area you're sitting at, but I can hear you clearly.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know how the camera went off, but I'm just going to keep carrying on because I really want to talk about this game.
It's good, yeah.
So basically, I think that this line is kind of interesting. Are you seeing -5? You're seeing -5.5.
I am.
The last time that these teams played, like the spread was -5.5, -6, and the game was in Cincinnati.
Right. And it was a short week division game.
Yeah. So I feel like this line should be more towards 7. I think Rodgers could easily have a bounce back game against one of the worst defenses in the league in Cincinnati.
Right. Burrow is back in this game, right?
No, I'm seeing that he's not going to be back till Thanksgiving, week
Till
13.
Thanksgiving. Okay. So we got
Yeah.
Unk Ball part 2.
Yep, the unction part too. That's hilarious.
The thing about this is the Steelers are just inconsistent. Like they looked mean against the Colts, and then they fly across country to the Chargers, and I was like bored watching that game because that offense couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an ugly game, but I just can't you totally see Aaron Rodgers bouncing back at home against one of the worst defenses. And like I think Jalen Warren, this could be a huge Jalen Warren game too. He's very underrated.
Right. Jalen Warren's on my fantasy team. He's done a great job for me this year. Doing a,
I could see the Pittsburgh offense going off here. I'm not sure if they're going to cover the spread, but I think that this is also a coaching mismatch. I
right.
think Mike Tomlin versus Zach Taylor. I like even though Mike Tomlin's been questionable this year, I think he's still like up there with the best head coaches in the league, and these boys are going to be coached up and ready to go. This is a big game. They're competing in the AFC North to make the playoffs over the Baltimore Ravens. I
hmm
think this is totally a game that they get the job done.
Yeah, this would be huge, especially with the Ravens. I know Lamar coming back, and whenever I guess like typically, I know like last year in the second half of the season, like the Ravens turned it up. Like they were a very like gritty, mean team, just blowing teams out. And I feel like the Steelers really need to put their gas on the pedal because the Ravens could just do the same thing in the second half and take that division away very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think this is a game that's a must win for them. Like at home, they need to get this game. They need to get this win if they're going for the division, which they obviously are. It's just going to be a really tough environment for the Bengals. I think. Like I could see Joe Flacco getting pressured, even though Mike Tomlin, like his defensive philosophy is to be more conservative. He's definitely a conservative head coach. He's not very aggressive. I don't think they need to even be that aggressive to beat the Bengals. I think they just need to play their C plus B plus game and they'll get the job done.
Yeah, I know Mike Tomlin's record what isn't like the best on Thursday Night Football, but we're talking about a good. They're rest up. It's a Sunday game. Like I think Tomlin would have the boys ready to play in this one.
I agree. I agree with you. So, do we think that they're going to cover the -5.5 though?
Anything over 4 in a divisional game scares me.
I agree.
Anything over 4, uh, I think they do. I
I
think
think they do too.
I think the Steelers do.
I think they do too. I think that line should be more like 7.
Yeah, I think the Steelers bounce back in this one, and the thing about the Bengals is like that defense. They had to do something about that defense. Like I think it's like
It's
what back
so
to back
bad. Like,
3 straight years
do you
of just
think it's
horrible.
just as bad as the Cowboys? Like, would you say the Cowboys is worse, or do you think that the Bengals is up down there?
Damn near. You know what? I think the Bengals are worse. I think the Bengals are worse. Um, I think now the Dallas Cowboys defense may just be stepping up a bit now that they acquired Quinnen Williams.
Yep.
So with Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark in the trenches, I think the pass rush gets better now and at least helps the pass defense out a little bit. But I think the Bengals are just worse than the Cowboys defense.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree there. I think Pittsburgh should have no problems in this game. I think they should roll. The only problem that I'm seeing is that it's another windy game, so maybe Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be able to slang it.
Right, right. Aaron Rodgers. Yep, I like the Steelers in this one with against the Bengals there.
Yep.
The next one, I believe, Chicago Bears and Minnesota, a game that we like here.
Yeah, I really like this one. What is your opinion before I talk about it?
So, week 1, when McCarthy had that fourth quarter comeback, it was just a down. I thought the Bears season was gonna go downhill from there. But I feel like the Bears might be in their groove. I think the Bears got a bit lucky last week against the Giants because the Giants are just blowing their fourth quarter leads like damn near over the
Yeah.
season. I think within think the last 4 road games, they have a negative 45-point differential in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So, like, if the Giants are up in the fourth quarter, they're probably going to lose that quarter and lose the game outright. So, I think the Bears got quite lucky in that one against a team that just can't get the things done in the fourth quarter.
So, does that mean that you're going with the Vikings then?
You know, it's tough because I haven't seen McCarthy sling the rock like I think I would like him to, especially in that Kevin O'Connell offense. Um, I might have to go Bears here. I think they split. I think they split.
Yeah, this is a really tough game, but honestly, like I think it starts with the head coaching matchup, which is a great head coaching matchup. I think these two head coaches, like Ben Johnson, is like somewhat copying KOC's formula. Like they're both young, offensive-minded head coaches that were
Hmm.
OCs, and they bring in like a veteran. They bring in a really good defensive coordinator. The Bears with Dennis Allen and the
Hmm.
Vikings with Brian Flores. Both of these coaching staffs are really good. I think Dennis Allen for the Bears is a super underrated defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He's very aggressive and he disguises his blitz as well. I think that he's very underrated as far as a defensive coordinator. His head of coaching stint did not work out well at all in New Orleans. I don't think he was fit to be a head coach, but I think that the Bears, even though their secondary is super banged up, which is like a really bad thing for them, I think
Hmm.
that they're going to be very aggressive with the pass rush and try and get pressure on McCarthy. Because if they could get pressure on McCarthy like they did in Week 1, then I think that that could be their path to victory. But
Right.
I don't know if I trust them enough here in this spot. Like, are the Bears really about to become 7-3?
Now, it's tough to imagine. I know with Ben Johnson being a former OC for the Lions, I mean, I think he knows a lot about this Brian Flores defense being in that division.
No
Uh,
doubt.
so I think Johnson has some things up his sleeve to at least, help Caleb out in that kind of psycho defensive minded Brian Flores defense that he has there. So I think Ben
Yeah,
Johnson.
I don't like that matchup though. I think that Brian Flores is going to get pressure on Caleb and might fluster him a little bit.
Right, right. It's tough. This is tough. Wow. As we're talking, like I know I had the Bears splitting, but like the more you're talking, just like I can see the Vikings edging this one out, just based off just that like similar, OKOC Ben Johnson being similar in terms of like the style. Brian Flores is like defense. I believe the Vikings are like top 5 in like rush defense and pass defense. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, in the start of the year they got off to a bad start, but I think that they're gonna be up there now because they're gonna be getting better and they're healthy now. But I just wanted to also say this because I wrote this down before I came on. These are the Bears' 6 wins. They beat the Giants, they beat the Bengals without Joe Burrow, they beat the Saints, they beat Washington, they beat the Raiders, and they beat the Cowboys.
Wow.
They didn't beat a single good team yet, and I think Minnesota's
Wow.
a good team. I think Minnesota's got this one. I think this is a game where the Vikings come out and win.
Yeah, I didn't. You're not wrong. The more I think about that, you're not wrong. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and I
I
think
feel like the Bears are just kind of like I really like Ben Johnson, I really do, but they're kind of like frauds to me because they literally are 6-3 right now, and they have less points scored than points allowed. Like they've allowed more
that's
points than they've
crazy.
scored this season, and they're 6-3.
That's
So
crazy.
for that reason, and I feel like the algorithm's going to agree with me. I think the algorithm's going to start fading the Bears towards the end of the season, especially when they have these tough in division games against the Lions, the Vikings, and the Packers. I
Hmm.
feel like it's time to start fading the Bears low key. But
Right, and
JJ McCarthy's a concern, right? Like
it
he
is.
hasn't been amazing.
I think out of all the quarterbacks that Justin Jefferson has had the past 2 years, I think his receiving per game is like lower with McCarthy. So like Jefferson isn't
Yeah.
even exploding with him in the pocket.
But maybe this is the time to because this Bears secondary is very banged up. Like they have a lot of starters that are out.
Yeah, yeah, especially if
It's
the
gonna be
Bears.
a good game, man.
Right. So, if in your opinion, like in this game, are you leaning towards totals, like, or do you think a spread? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, before I run the algorithm, because that's when I could really have an opinion on it. I would just lean the Vikings, especially if it's -2.5.
Got it. Okay, yeah. And then you think do you see this being a high scoring game?
Honestly, I have
In the
no
dome?
opinion on that because I could see
Okay.
both ways. I could see it being a shootout, and I could also see it being a defensive battle. It's a wild card for
Yeah,
me. What do you
yeah.
think?
I think it'll be a battle. I think O'Connell and Ben Johnson just being in their bag on offense, and then Dennis Allen and Flores being in their bag on defense. I think this might be a game where points might be a bit tough to come by.
Yeah, no doubt. Division game, no doubt. They're lower
Yeah,
scoring on average.
right.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm like a nerd. I'm like a football nerd. I like to look for the coaching matches because I feel like football is like chess. Like this is a great coaching matchup.
On both sides.
Yeah, on both
Yeah,
sides. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm really excited to see.
yeah.
I'm really
No,
excited to see
that'll
it.
be a very interesting game, especially with Minnesota being home in the dome. It'd be a very
Yep.
interesting game.
Yep. No doubt.
Third game I like we could talk about is the Panthers versus the Atlanta Falcons. We're going with an NFC South divisional game. I don't like the Falcons. I they're losers of four straight. I've never been a big fan of Raheem Morris as a head coach. I feel like the only time where I like the Falcons is when they're playing on Monday Night Football.
Mhm.
They're 4-0 on Monday Night Football with Raheem Morris. Everything else is just a crapshoot besides Monday.
Yeah, Raheem Morris is definitely not the best head coach. I just feel like he should be a DC instead of a head coach, just like Dennis Allen. I don't think that his time in Atlanta is going to be long.
Hmm.
I'll just say it
Right.
like that. But in this spot, I just feel like this line's interesting. I was seeing -3 earlier instead of 3.5. It's just interesting because these lines are so weird this year. Like they played like 5 weeks ago in Carolina, and the spread was Atlanta -5.5, and they got blown out.
Right.
And now they're back home and it's 3. It's just so interesting, isn't it?
Very interesting. I read the data somewhere where I believe the Falcons are 1-4 as favorites
Oof.
against the spread, and don't really have the best against the spread record in terms of NFC South divisional games. So I know my mind is telling me to go Carolina 3.5. I just, the Falcons have one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. I believe they're bottom five. So this could be just a game where just Bryce Young just gives the ball to Rico Dowdle. He just goes crazy here.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like what you said about the Falcons is correct, and I think that they're one of the hardest teams to like handicap for in the NFL because
100%.
they're so inconsistent. Sometimes they just don't show up.
What's your thoughts on Michael Penix?
Dude, I think that this is so interesting. Like, is he one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL right now? Probably. But I feel like at the same time, I'm not ready to give up on him. I think that he needs another year and
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the Anthony Richardson situation. They should just give him another year and just see if he could develop. But there's a chance that he's not their guy. There's a chance that he's definitely their guy. It's
Right.
really hard to say right now.
And I know with their offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson, I mean, I know I've watched some Falcons games. I'm just kind of just like, why are you calling that? Like, even I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you calling that?
Yeah, no doubt. No
Like, it'll
doubt.
be like third and five, and it's like a pistol halfback dive to Bijan. I'm like, why are you calling that on third and five? And like, they're 0
Yeah.
40.
Yeah, but at the same time in this game, like the Falcons' skill positions are so elite that
Yeah.
they could literally cover any game. They can hang with anybody on the right day.
Mm-hmm.
And like what I was saying about the Falcons earlier, how they're very inconsistent and hard to handicap. Like I would say the same for the Panthers. Like they could go into Green Bay and beat the Packers, but then they could lose at home to the
Right.
Saints. Like it's so hard to tell.
Right. Right. Man, if I'm looking at this game, I might be looking under here. I know it's a very
Yeah,
low line, 41.5.
that is
Um,
really low.
yeah, very low. The reason why I'm thinking low is because I think the Panthers are aware that the Falcons have a bad run defense. So I think this could be a game where they just give the ball to Rico. The clock is ticking. Um,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
and then the Falcons. I mean, if Penix. I mean, if this off, like, it's hard to trust. This, like, I don't know who the Falcons are.
Yeah, and they could be running the ball too all game.
Right, they could be running the ball all game too. And I know every single team in the NFC South in divisional games, no one has covered the over under. So like everyone's 0-2 in terms of covering.
Wow.
In terms of so it seems like no one's really hitting the overs a lot in divisional games in NFC South here.
Yeah, well, wow. Yeah, this is very interesting because I could see it going either way. But the thing that I wanted to ask you, because you asked me about Penix, what do you think about Bryce Young? Because in my opinion, like I'm not a huge I think he's a great guy. I think I really like him. I really like the guy, but I just don't think he's that good. Like, who would you rather have, Bryce Young or Michael Penix on your team?
Wow.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Close. I think with Bryce, I think he was someone that's been like a product of his environment during like his high school years, like being surrounded by like top tier high school talent, going to Alabama, top tier 5-star recruits, like surrounded by everyone. And then if they thought that he was going to come in there and be the Cam Newton and carry that team, like they got it wrong.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I think it might be time for the Panthers to probably move on from Bryce Young.
Yeah, but like I don't even know where he could get another chance. Maybe like Miami if Tua retires, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that I would rather have Michael Penix than Bryce Young.
Yeah, I think Bryce Young might be a good fit in LA Rams.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe like a year. I mean, I don't know how long Stafford has, but maybe like a year or two behind Stafford to see what Stafford's seeing. I think Sean McVay is just psychotic when it comes to just attention to details on offense. So I think that would be a huge upgrade in terms of coaching. I mean, from Canales to Sean McVay, it's going to be a huge coaching upgrade. So I think that might be like a good environment for him to go to. Like the same thing with Mac Jones. I mean, Patriots, no. Jaguars looked a little better when Lawrence was hurt, and then he goes to the 49ers under Kyle Shanahan. Brock is hurt, and Mac Jones is slinging the rock.
Yeah, no doubt. There's a lot of quarterbacks. I feel like in today's league, there's like only a few really good quarterbacks, and then the rest are like just pretty good. Like it's so weird. When we were younger, there was like a big drop off, but nowadays I feel like literally outside the top 5 guys, it's just everyone else is like pretty much interchangeable. Like it's very hard to differentiate the difference between some of these guys. It really is. You know what I mean? Like even Mac Jones, who's a backup, is like I would consider to be like almost an average quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just interesting to me. It's just really interesting to me how the quarterback plays developed. And even Tom Brady said that the quarterback play in the league is just not that good anymore.
No.
I'd say there's just like a lot of average guys.
Would you say maybe 5?
5 really good guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, outside of like Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar, Burrow, Stafford, Drake May, Justin Herbert, like those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think outside of those guys, it's pretty like interchangeable. Maybe you could throw some guys like Sam Darnold up there, Aaron Rodgers that's sometimes up there. But like
sometimes
I feel
Love.
like it's a lot. Yeah, sometimes Love, sometimes Dak. But like besides that, like once you get to like the 10 to 20 range, they're all like interchangeable, I feel like.
Yeah, it's so hard. In this game, would you say like the Falcons have just the edge in terms of just skill players than the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that they're in a dome, the Panthers don't really travel that well. If this game was to be played in a neutral site, so say that this game was in London, like what do you think the spread would be?
In London,
if there was no home field advantage?
I would probably give it maybe 2 extra points to the Falcons.
Yes. So like Falcons -1. That's what like the books are saying, and I feel like the Falcons would be more favored than that, even in a neutral field. I just feel like they're a better team than Carolina.
Yeah, 100%. Especially the Falcons have a much better pass defense than Carolina. So if
Yeah.
Bryce Young is going to be throwing the ball, like they're number 1 in pass defense and passing yards allowed.
Yeah, I didn't even know that stat, but to be honest, I feel like they're not going to. Like you said, they're going to be pounding with Dowdle. But yeah. I think that they're still going to have a good edge over them, even if the Panthers run a lot.
Right. So, straight up, you probably just say Falcons just take this one.
In my opinion, unless like the funny thing is that when I run the algorithm, like the algorithm could say to take the Panthers, and then my opinion completely flips. But before I run the algorithm, I would say that I think the Falcons get it done.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be another good divisional one there. Then the
You
next
put,
one, next one, Seahawks and the Rams. Another gritty NFC West divisional matchup. In my opinion, I think three teams get in the playoffs in that division. I think it's gonna be Seahawks, um, Niners, and Rams.
definitely could happen.
I think all three of them are capable of getting 10 wins based off schedule.
Yeah, yeah. If the Niners have a soft end of their season, then maybe.
The Seahawks defense has been looked great. Um,
Yep.
Mike McDonald has done a great job of just revamping that team. Um, and with Sam Darnold reconnecting with Kubiak, he knows the system, he knows the playbook. So I think it was just an easy transition of Sam Darnold going over to Seattle. I'm not trying to say that it's. I think Darnold did well under KOC because KOC is like a good offensive genius, but I think that with Clint Kubiak, he's very familiar with his style because I believe Clint was there in San Fran when Darnold was a backup. So I think it's kind of just the pieces being put together, just making like Jordan Darnold like that system quarterback in that organization.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this one?
So I think that similar to the Bears Vikings game, this is another really good coaching matchup. As you said, McVay versus McDonald. I
Yeah,
think that I think that I would rather have McVay because, in my opinion, McVay is probably the second or third best head coach in football. Um,
yeah.
I think I would rather have McVay here. But the thing that's interesting to me is that the Rams' home field advantage is not that good, so there's probably going to be a lot of Seahawks fans
Seahawks fans.
traveling down to California. So I feel like the home field advantage is like maybe a point here, and it's usually like 2 points or something, two and a half,
Mhm.
like 2 to 2.5 points. So the home field advantage is not that much here, and the line is still 3. So that's kind of interesting to me. Like they're saying that the Rams are basically 2 points better than the Seahawks, which is very debatable, right?
Yeah, yeah, very debatable. I think this might be a bit. I don't know. I think it might be a high scoring game here.
Definitely has the potential to. It's just two good teams, two good
Yeah.
offenses, and two good defenses. I feel like anything could happen there. But what I am seeing is that the public is all over the Seahawks, yet the
Mhm.
line is moving towards the Rams. It went from like 2.5 to 3, I saw. So that's pretty interesting. And I
Oh
see that it
wow.
might be 3.5 some places even.
Yeah, it looks like on DraftKings 3.5.
Yeah, so whenever this is another lesson that you could get in sports betting, whenever you see the public on one team, yet the line moves to the other team, that means that the Rams are probably the better bet.
Wow.
Because even though the public's on the Seahawks, the line is favoring the Rams even more. But either way, this is going to be a huge game with playoff atmosphere for sure. This should be a playoff type game.
Right, right. And I definitely see the public perception being like the Seahawks have been dominant. Darnold has been looking great. Like this is easy, free plus 3.5 money. That's what the public's
Yeah,
trying to do themselves.
they haven't really beat too many good teams, just like the Bears. I feel like they beat in recent weeks. They beat like the Cardinals, who are okay, Washington, okay, the Jaguars. Like some pretty okay teams.
Hmm.
Um, so this is gonna be a battle for them. This is gonna be tough. And at the end of the day, like, do you trust McVay and Stafford more, or McDonald and Darnold more? Like, I'm picking McVay and Stafford 10 times out of 10.
100%. 100%. I'm
So
taking
yeah, I
Stafford
guess I
over
guess I
Darnold.
feel like the Rams are gonna win.
Yeah, I'm picking Stafford over Darnold there. Stafford's seen it all, done it all. He's vet.
Yup.
Yeah, and then especially last year when he went against the Vikings twice, and the Vikings were just throwing heavy blitzes. Like Stafford was still calm under pressure, and I can see McDonald trying to scheme things up to apply pressure to Stafford, and Stafford's gonna do what Stafford does in that pocket if he sees
No
any.
doubt.
Yeah, so I like the Rams in this one. I think a potential high scoring game. I think Darnold has been in his bag this season. Stafford is Stafford. I think this could be a high scoring game potentially, but I like the Rams in this one.
Yeah, I have to agree. I don't know about the total. What is it, 48 and a half, 49?
48.5.
Yeah, so I mean, it could either go into a shootout or a defensive battle, and I feel like similar to the Bears one, I feel like either way can go in each game.
Right.
It could go
And
like a shootout or it could be a defensive battle because they're both
right.
divisional games at the end of the day. It's
Both
very hard to tell.
right. Both divisional games and both of these defenses are top 10 in pass rush win rates.
Oh yeah, they've been playing great. Seattle has probably surprised me more than any other team
100
this season,
right.
even including the Patriots.
I'll be very honest. I didn't think McDonald would be turning up the way that I thought he would this year. I thought he's going to just have a huge drop off leaving Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we have Kansas City Chiefs versus the Broncos, another divisional game, AFC
Oh my
West.
gosh.
I don't
Well, this
know
is
what
going to be another playoff atmosphere type game. All of these games are going to be battles.
right. I don't know what to make of the Broncos offense.
Oh yeah, I'm very concerned about Bo Nix. I feel like he's so like average that it hurts him. Like he's so like he tries to be like so he tries to be so like non I feel like he tries to be so like I can't even put the words to it, like so vanilla that
Yeah.
like I don't know. I've never seen him like really make a play where I'm really wowed. I feel like all he does is like throw the checkdowns and then once in a while take a deep shot and throw an interception.
Funny you say that because what you just said explains the Packers offense to a T.
Yeah, like actually, it's
It's
very similar.
literally Jordan Love checking it down to Josh Jacobs either on a halfback swing or just checking it down to Jacobs, taking a deep shot or takes a deep shot and interception.
Yeah, it's like one of the two, and it's very frustrating because like Bo Nix he's got a great arm, he's got very good potential, he's got a good coach and a good team around him. Like the Broncos are still 8-2 at the end of the day. Like they're going to be in there for the playoffs.
Yeah. Solid defense. That pass rush is disgusting.
Yeah, which is I really think that this is going to be a low scoring playoff type game. So I think that there's a chance the Broncos don't show up on offense and really get held to minimal points. But at the same time, I feel like KC could also get stopped by this Broncos offense, even though they really should get the job done.
Right. Right. Do you think the Broncos offense is more so Bo Nix or is it play calling, a mix of both?
I'm a really big Sean Payton guy, but this year I've seen like some really questionable things from him, such as when he like ran on the field in the middle of the game and costed his team 15 yards. And some of the play calling has been very questionable too. And this is like an all-time great head coach. Like he's a very good offensive mind. So I
Right.
feel like the system's not bad. Like they have good talent, but I feel like besides Cortland Sutton, there's not really much there. I feel like they need another receiver.
I agree. I agree. And I think especially you can't really go up against Steve Spagnuolo with vanilla play calling.
Nope, you're going to get exposed, which is what I
100%.
think is going to happen here. I think KC can't lose. They're 5-4, and they're trying to win the division over the Broncos. They cannot drop this game.
No. And I'm pretty sure the Chiefs, I mean, Mahomes owns the Broncos. I believe his record's like 12-3, something crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And I don't even want to like come on here and glaze Mahomes like everyone does, but like if you watch the NFL and you don't think Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, then you're not really watching it because year after year he just has such a higher IQ than the people around him that he's able to lead his team to wins.
100%.
Like he's just such a good player, man.
And if no one's there, like he's scrambling for 20 yards getting that first down.
Yeah, like that's what I love about him the most. And I forgot to mention this about Caleb Williams because Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, are like the two best quarterbacks at like avoiding sacks, avoiding pressure, and extending plays. And that's something that Jordan Love needs to learn from. He needs to start extending plays. He either gets if he misses his first read or second read, he gets sacked instead of scrambling and extending the play. It's really sad.
Yeah. I don't want my thing about going to the season is I think Jordan Love needs to be more dual threatish. I think he tends to hop in that pocket too much, and then that pocket is collapsing, and then he's scrambling to find another throw, and it's kind of just like, bro, either run 15 yards or throw it out.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like we said, he either throws it deep to his first read or he checks it down or he just takes a sack. And there's like, even just like throwing the ball away, I don't really see him doing that. I see him just taking so many sacks. It's kind of weird.
It's weird. It's
And
weird.
he's so talented. Like, I think that they'll figure it out.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. With this Broncos and Chiefs game, if there was anything that I probably like about this game, I probably like the first half under.
That's
I think
sharp.
it's like 23 and a half, 22 maybe. But the Chiefs have struggled to score a lot of points in the first half on the road. They're averaging about 10 points in the first half on the road. And the Broncos are barely even getting 2 touchdowns on the road. So probably combine it maybe 23 and a half. But like Spagnuolo's probably going to shut down that vanilla play calling. But the Chiefs, like on the other side, like they're going up against a very tough Broncos defense. So I think this will probably be like a gritty first half.
No doubt. I completely agree. I think that's a really sharp play to take the first half under. I like the full game. I would say I like the full game and the first half because honestly, it would shock me if the Broncos scored more than 2 touchdowns in this game. Like I just don't see them really showing up here. I think they might try and show up, but I just think the Chiefs are going to win. I think they're going to
Yeah.
overwhelm them.
You're right. You're right. That Broncos pass rush is going to collapse that pocket, and Mahomes going to be extending that play.
Yeah, like look for Andy Reid in this game to just call a lot of short passes, a lot of RPOs, a lot of screens, get the ball out of his hands early, and just let his playmakers go to work. Like they have Rashee Rice and they have Xavier Worthy. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I like I like the Chiefs in that. I like the Chiefs in this game. So you're right. They can't lose this game. I really love that first half under.
Yeah, I agree, man. But like, do we like the Chiefs to cover 3.5? Because that's a key number.
I think Broncos cover. I don't know.
Right? It's like if it was like 2.5 or 3, then that's better.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
First half under we'll just go with because that I think that could be sharp. I think that could really be sharp. I could see Denver getting held to like way less than 10 points in the first half. I could totally see that.
Yeah. I don't
Makes
see
sense
Bo
to
Nix
me.
going off in like to start the game here, and then
Yeah.
and then I can see it taking this Chiefs team the second half to really figure out this Broncos defense a bit.
No doubt. And this Broncos defense is elite. Like they're definitely like top 3. I would say that they're top 3.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be a tough game here.
Yeah.
And then the last one we have the Detroit Lions versus the Philadelphia Eagles. You're a Lions fan. What do you think on this one?
I think it's a tricky one because I have Jared Goff concerns. Even though I'm a Lions fan, I feel like I'm a rare sports fan where I'm not like I'm super realistic and I feel like it's okay to like multiple teams. I'm not like I'm a Lions fan and I think the Bears are cool, the Packers are cool, the Vikings are cool. I honestly just respect good football. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm more of a fan of the sport, but I definitely am a Lions fan. But I think that this game is really tricky because Jared Goff, like I'm realistic on him. I think that he's average. I don't think that he's anything special, and people would like really hype him up the last few years. But it's more his team and his like Atlanta. They just have elite skill position players, so they're able to make plays.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Goff. If the weather's bad, it's outside. Philly's a really tough place to play. I feel like Goff could be a little concerning here if he fumbles or throws a pick. Plus, I'm seeing the Publix on the Lions, so it's not a good sign.
Yeah, the Philly's a very hostile environment. It's
no doubt.
Even when like the Packers come to Philadelphia play a game, like I'm not going to that game. I'm staying home watch that game. I'm not going to Philadelphia.
Probably a lot of fights.
Oh yeah, probably a lot of fights. You're getting cursed at, and it's hostile, especially if you're the opponent team. Like they're in your ear chewing you out.
Yeah, no doubt.
And like Jared Goff is very statue-like in that pocket. So like if he's getting he's not scrambling 20 to 25 yards like Mahomes. Like he might just take the sack.
Yep. But the Lions do tend to always show up. Like Campbell has those boys coached up. There's not been many times in the last couple of years that I've seen them just not show up to a game and not really score. Week 1 this year was like an only example that I could think of that happening.
Right. I love, you know what? Like, I love Dan Campbell as a coach.
Yeah, I agree.
He's someone that you want in your locker room, just lighting a fire under your ass, like getting ready for a game.
No doubt, man.
You're not too worried about getting haircuts every Friday, like LaFleur. You know. You're not too worried about.
I'm not even, dude. I think that LaFleur's a good coach. I still think that he's all right. It's just he needs to. This week will be a test. I'm not out on LaFleur yet.
Yeah.
I know a lot of my Packer fan friends are worried, but
yeah. I just feel like Dan Campbell brings out the best in you mentally.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like execution, I feel like the Lions execute because they're just well coached mentally by Dan Campbell.
I agree. I completely agree.
With the Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown, then you have to deal with that Gibbs and Monty duo. That's very hard. And I feel like that really makes life easy for Jared Goff. I don't think Laporta is playing this game. Um, that's probably might be a huge blow to that passing offense. Um,
Definitely.
I don't know
Do
what
you
to
think
think.
the Lions should be favored in this game, or do you think the Eagles are rightfully favored?
I think the Eagles are rightfully favored because from what I've researched, I think they've beaten every single team this year over 500. So I can definitely see Eagles getting a lot of love plus the home field advantage. Um, I think Eagles might have an easier time scoring points in this one because the Packers have a very, very good defense. I think you could disagree, but I think the Packers defense is a lot stronger than the
Then the Lions?
Lions defense, I think.
Wait, then the Lions defense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the Packers defense is definitely better than the Lions defense.
So if the Eagles could only get 10 on the Packers defense, I think they could probably score more than that on the Lions defense.
100%. Like, if they score less than – there's no way that they score less than 10 points in this game.
Oh,
No
if the
way.
Eagles score 10 points, the Lions are winning.
Yeah, no doubt. But I think – I don't know, man. I feel like this could turn into a shootout. I feel like this total is kind of low, right?
Yeah, let me take a look. This is 46.5.
For two, like, I would call the Eagles offense borderline elite. I would say two really good, two elite offenses. I think that this total should be a little higher.
Right, and I feel like with AJ Brown getting a lot of attention about him just like being down on himself, just be on this team, I think this could be like reverse psychology, and next thing you know, AJ Brown has like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I completely agree. I was just gonna say I really like AJ Brown to have a bounce back game because the Lions secondary could definitely be exploited. Like I think that he could definitely go off. And Jalen Hurts, I want to know your opinion on Jalen Hurts because he gets a lot of like hate for some reason. Like a lot of people just do not like him and do not think that he's a good quarterback. I think he's a great person. He's a great leader, and I think that he's a great quarterback.
I love Jalen Hurts' intelligence pre-snap.
Right?
And
Yeah, I
think
think
that
he's
makes you
got a very high IQ, football IQ.
And I think that makes you a great quarterback. I know people hate on him because he can't throw for 250 yards a game, but at the end of the day, you collect W's and you get a ring. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Um, I like Jalen Hurts because of just ability to just look at defenses from a pre-snap standpoint and make changes to lines of scrimmage to give their offense an advantage.
Okay, so I would agree with you. So most people in this game would say that Jared Goff is the better quarterback, but in my opinion, I think that Philadelphia has the quarterback advantage. I think that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Jared Goff,
Especially from
in respects to their own team.
Especially from a dual threat ability too, because Hurts can just
No
tuck
doubt.
it.
No doubt. I think that both of these offenses just have, I would say, good quarterbacks in elite skill positions. So I feel like this total should just be higher. I think that we could see a really good game. Here.
Your thoughts on Sirianni?
At first, I thought that he wasn't it, like maybe a couple years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, or whenever they first hired him, maybe 4. But I really, ever since they made that first Super Bowl when they lost to the Chiefs, I think that he's been a fantastic coach. I think that he's changed the Eagles' culture and made them legit contenders every year.
Right. His leadership style reminds me of like Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I could see it. I could totally see it. Yeah, because they're very like aggressive and loud and big personalities.
Right, and very aggressive play calling. Like there was no need for Hurts to have that deep shot on 4th and 8 late in the fourth. Like there was no need for that, but he was just like, you know what? Let's end the game right here and see if it happens.
I respect it. It's almost like, I swear, I was just talking to my friend about this the other day. These new head coaches, this new generation, back when I was little and we grew up watching the NFL, the head coaches were super, super conservative. Like they're punting every fourth down. They're taking the points every time. But now these new young head coaches that are just like OCs, they just come in and they play like it's Madden, and they're super aggressive. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I love it though. I love it.
I love it. I love aggressive play calling. I mean, I feel like if you're given the ball 20 plus time, like I like the aggressive style. I love it. I'm a
Yeah,
big
no
fan of
doubt.
it. So would you say the Eagles have the advantage? Okay, Eagles have advantage defense, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Better Sirianni over Dan Campbell.
I don't know. I think I'm taking Dan Campbell
Okay.
because I feel like he always has those boys ready to go.
And then all Eagles
And
got the offense.
the Eagles, there's some games where they don't show up. I'm trying to think of this year if there was any games where they didn't really show up, but like more so in the past years, like there's been some weird games where they just did not look good.
Right. I know they squeaked one against the Denver Broncos, and that was a very tough defense.
Yeah. Oh, the one that I should be thinking of was when the Giants blew them out on Thursday night or whatever.
Okay.
They just like didn't show up, you know.
Well, and how about that Thursday night against the Giants?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that
Yeah.
that's an example this year of when the Eagles didn't show up. Like I feel like there's no way the Giants could beat the Lions.
Right.
I feel like I don't know.
I know the second time around when the Eagles played the Giants, I think the line was like 7 or 7.5. I'm like, the Eagles are gonna blow the doors off the Giants in the second time.
Yeah, and they did.
They won by like what 13-14, I believe.
Yeah,
But I was
they
like, there's
totally did.
no way they're gonna keep it close in the second time.
Yeah, totally agree.
What do you think like what do you like in this game?
I don't know if I like anything. Maybe the over, honestly, which is rare for me to like overs because I like betting the unders. But I think this total should be a little higher. Like when they played the Packers in Lambeau, the total was 45.5. And now you're playing a team with a better offense and a worse defense. I see it being a higher scoring.
I like
Both
that.
teams should be in the 20s here, no problem.
100%. I think each of them should at least let me see what it is 46.5. I think they both can score at least 23 points each.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a chance it gets into a big shootout. It could definitely turn into a shootout, but it might not be because both teams run the ball a lot. Both teams are really good running. Both teams are just good at everything, honestly.
Right.
Like, honestly.
Right. If
Yeah.
I like the Jalen Hurts anytime.
Yeah, I could totally see it. I almost like the A.J. Brown anytime because
That looks good.
of all this negative media he's getting. But I think A.J. Brown is a really, really, really underappreciated player. I think he's one of the best receivers in the league. And he's also, I keep saying this, but I've just seen a lot of interviews with him. He's a really good guy. He's a very good guy.
Yeah, very good. You think he stays Eagles long term, or you think it's kind of just like you see the right?
I don't know, man. He should come to the Lions. We don't even need him, but I just love that guy. I think he's a great player.
Yeah, I mean, I see, him going to the Patriots and going back with Vrabel.
Yeah, that could definitely happen too. I think the Patriots could definitely use an alpha besides Diggs.
Right. Yeah, perfect. So I think we covered our 7 best games. I mean, anything else you want to chime in for week 11? Anything else you like or?
Yeah, honestly, before, like I said, I have my algorithm that I'm going to run tonight and get the official plays. I'll send them to you, John. But the ones that we didn't talk about that I kind of like, I could weirdly see Jacksonville having a good game here against the Chargers. I know they're 3-point home underdogs, but I think that this is a good matchup for the Jags to get back on track and maybe get a win. I'm not saying that like I'm sure of it or anything, but I think the +3 is pretty good for the Chargers that have to travel across the country. I think Cohen's gonna have a good game plan here, but Trevor Lawrence is always a concern.
Always a concern. I think they move on from him.
Yeah, but like, where would he go? He would surely get a second chance somewhere else.
Jeez, I don't even know. I'm not the biggest fan of Lawrence. I don't even know where he'll go. Maybe like Arizona when
I feel like Kyler should go somewhere else.
I think this is Kyler's last year. I think he's gone. I think Kyler's gone after the season.
Yeah, but he's gonna get another chance somewhere else too. Maybe Cleveland.
Either Cleveland, maybe the Raiders.
Yeah, I could see both. I could see him in Cleveland with that run offense.
Oh yeah.
That could be good.
Do you the Jets? Do you think they at least move on from Justin Fields? Like,
I don't know because they're probably gonna have a really good draft pick, so they might be tempted to take a quarterback. But if they keep Aaron Glenn, they might keep Justin Fields. I don't know. I personally, I'm higher on Justin Fields than most people. I think he's so talented. Like I think he's got it. It's just I don't know. It's
The
just in
system.
this league you need to throw, but his team revolves around it. Like they're just a run heavy team. It's just that they're not good right now. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think Chicago isn't really the best organization to come in as first round
No.
quarterback. So I kind of feel like he kind of got failed a bit in that organization. And then going to Pittsburgh, he was starting, and then they gave it to Russell Wilson. So I don't really think he really got that fair chance.
And he was doing good with the Steelers.
Yeah, he was doing good with the Steelers, and then they kind of just gave it to
Like
Wilson.
I don't know, man. Like I think even if you put Justin Fields on like the Lions, if you put him on the Lions and made it like a run first team, they would still be an elite team. I really believe that.
Right.
Or like if you put him on the Eagles, I think that would work too. Like I don't know. I think that he's definitely talented enough to start in this league.
Very talented. I think the right person needs to be in his ear to give him like the right guidance.
Yeah, and I don't know where that would be. I don't know if there's any situations like that.
Because like Aaron Glenn's a first-time head coach, so it's like very hard to really trust what he's saying at this point.
Yeah, and he's a defensive head coach too.
Right.
So, yeah. But going back to the games this week, I feel like I think they're all good matchups. But the Jaguars, that piques my interest.
Yeah.
I think that Tampa Bay Buffalo game, I'm surprised you didn't want to go over that one. That one's going to be a really good game, and I'm hearing that there's going to be a snowstorm.
Oof.
So I think Baker might show up in the snow. Might be a good game.
And I'm not gonna lie, whenever the Buccaneers are like plus 5.5, plus 6.5, they kind of sneak up a little bit and cover them.
Oh yeah, they're good. They're still a good team.
Right. And yeah, I can see Baker keeping them in here in this game.
They need to have like Mike Evans. I wish Mike Evans was playing.
I know.
Especially if it's snowing. Because I'm seeing that it might snow in Buffalo tomorrow.
No Mike Evans, no Bucky Irving.
It's so tough when your team's an offensive powerhouse to have those injuries.
Yeah, it's very tough. I mean, what are your thoughts on like Josh Allen's play lately? I feel like a lot of media kind of go off on certain quarterbacks, and I feel like Josh Allen has been. I don't know. What are your thoughts on how he's been so far?
He's been playing like his C- ball the last few weeks. Like he's capable of so much more. I don't know what happened last week. I do want to say that the algorithm did have the Dolphins plus 10 last week, which was sweet. Right. But I did not account for Josh Allen just not showing up against the Dolphins, who are one of the worst defenses. I think that even Mahomes was getting trashed earlier this season because the Chiefs had a bad start. But you're right. I don't see anyone going on about Josh Allen having a bad middle of the season.
One.
Maybe it's because he beat the Chiefs a couple weeks ago, but if you just delete that game, if you look at his last 5 games, it's not been that good.
No one's like. I feel like every week it's like Jordan Love's a problem. Bo Nix is a problem. Like they're picking like certain quarterbacks to bash on, and I just feel like they're just giving him just like a very long leash. You'd be like, that's Josh Allen. He's like, we don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair though, he doesn't have any weapons, and his defense has not been good. They've been so hurt. They've had so many defensive injuries this year. It's kind of ridiculous.
I believe that run defense is just atrocious.
Dude, it's terrible. Like, and they have Ed Oliver out. Matt Milano's been out. Espinoza's been out. Taylor Rapp's been out. Teron Johnson's been out. Like 5 of their 6 best defenders have been out for most of the year. So it's like it's kind of similar to the Bears defense. Like there's just a lot of injuries. And there's been a few. I feel like there's been a lot of injuries, especially because I know this because I check the injury report every week for my algorithm. Like there's been so many injuries this year, way more than normal. Like the Chargers defense got decimated, the Bills defense, the Cardinals defense, the Cardinals offense. Like a lot of teams, they've just been decimated this year.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's very crazy about the injuries. Either it's like a lower half injury or concussion. It's concerning. Yeah,
no doubt. There is also, dude, I just saw this. There's one more game that I really wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
If you go to the Houston Tennessee game, I don't know if do you have any opinion on this game? Because it's an ugly game, obviously, but I really like this game.
Very ugly game. I know David Mills is going right.
Yeah. Stroud is out.
Okay, David Mills is going. I think Cam Ward has a hard time throwing on that pass defense that the Texans have. Um, Divisional game, 5.5. Man, I might, I might do under here, 37 and a
Yeah,
half.
totally. I totally think the under. But I'm seeing that the Houston is -6 most places.
Oh
So it's
wow.
5.5 or 6. Which, dude, like, okay, let's just think about it for a second here. Let's take all the bias out. Like, the Titans are the worst team in the league. We know that. But first of all, they're off a bye week, and that definitely means something, getting that rest and getting healthier and getting rest and getting game plan time.
Hmm.
I think that helps, first of all. Second of all, I think this line is kind of wrong because Houston is just not that good of a team. Their defense is great, but their
Hmm.
offense is not good. Like, I just feel like this is a mispriced line. Like, CJ Stroud is not playing, and they're still -6 on the road in a divisional game. Like, don't you think that's a little bit too much?
Going off that David Mills high.
Yeah, and it's like they're saying basically Vegas is saying with this spread that if this game was Titans at Texans, the spread would be like -9.5, -10. And I feel like with a backup quarterback, that's like ridiculous. Like I
Ridiculous.
feel like the Texans are way too favored in this game.
Interesting. So 5.5 is too rich.
Yeah, I feel like with a backup quarterback on the road in a divisional game against a team coming off a bye, I feel like the Texans should be like -4. I honestly feel like they should be like -4.5, something like that.
And everyone's just writing off the Titans because they're just bad. I feel like a lot of
Yeah,
teams make decisions based on like the overall team, but don't really dig into like the digging of it, like thinking
yeah,
of.
well, it's been really bad for them this year. The last time these two played, they did lose 26-0. So the
Oh,
under hit in that game too. But like I said, like you know how I am, like with the algorithm, we take value,
yeah,
I feel like there's just significant value on the Titans. Like I could totally be wrong and they could totally get blown out. It's definitely possible. But I feel
right.
like you're getting value with the Titans +6 here.
I like that. Actually, I love that under there. I think points might be hard to come by for the Titans going against that defense. And divisional game, I think David Mills might just take a step back here.
Yeah, I totally see that under hitting too. I could see both teams scoring like less than 14, 17 points low key. I
I
could
think
see like a 17-14 game, something like that.
I think it'd be very similar to that Broncos Texans game.
Yeah, I could see something like that. Totally.
Right.
Totally.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, we're all good then.
Yeah, yeah, no. Anything else? Yeah.
Oh no, honestly, I didn't have anything else. I just wanted to know if there's any other games that you liked that we didn't talk about. There's Monday night one too. That's pretty good.
Oh, Cowboys and Raiders, 3.5.
That's interesting, man. What do you think?
It's hard to trust the Cowboys on primetime. Um, but I'm not a big fan of Geno Smith. I think Geno can have himself a day on this Cowboys defense, but then I also have to realize that like Quinn Williams is now in the picture, so I think Geno might be a bit stressed out now with like the duo of Clark and Quinnen.
That's
Um,
true.
the Raiders covered last Thursday night when they played against the Broncos, but that was a divisional game, short week. I don't know. I don't know. I think this might, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really gross one. I do know that there is 80 something percent of America on the Cowboys, so I feel like I know I keep bringing up the public numbers, but just a quick like lesson is to fade the public as much as you can. For whatever reason, the public loses way more than they win. This is like a classic example of just like the sharps are on the Raiders and the public's on the Cowboys on prime time. That doesn't mean that the Raiders are going to upset or cover every time, but I just feel like if you're going to make a bet, you should be not betting with the public. If you like the public side, you should either sit out or not. You should sit out and not bet it, or you should just bet the sharp side.
Right, right. Yeah, that's you're not wrong. I, you like a spread or a total in this one?
Mm,
Uh,
I don't know. I feel like based off of what I just said, I feel like I would have to like the sharp play, which would be the Raiders, because 85% of the public's on the Cowboys. So I feel like as of right now, I would take the Raiders. But like I said, like once I run the algorithm tonight,
Yeah.
it could literally go against my opinion, and I would still bet it because I follow the algorithm over my own opinion. You know what I mean? So on any of the things that I said that I liked in this episode, like if the algorithm says to take the other side, I would take it. So it just depends. I'll send you the plays tonight, though, John.
We own it. Yeah, nah, not a problem. Yeah. Anything else you got for week 11?
No, I just wanted to emphasize maybe out of all the things that we went over that I like. I like the Steelers to get the job done against the Bengals. I like the Vikings to get the job done against the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Rams get the job done against the Seahawks. I like the Chiefs against the Broncos. I think that they win no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I like the Falcons as well against the Panthers.
No play on the Packers and Giants side.
Maybe the under if anything. And I
Under.
also like the Titans kind of.
Titans.
Jaguars, like what we just talked about after. But like I said, I'm gonna run the algorithm tonight. I gotta work on it, so I'll text you the official plays.
Right. Yeah. No. Of course. And then for everyone that's watching this episode, go ahead and contact CodetheOdds on Instagram. Reach out to his DMs. He could probably give you a week free plays, but very cool system that he has. Definitely gonna help you try to beat Vegas on this one. But definitely go ahead and check him out.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Don't be afraid to hit CodetheOdds up on Instagram. But thank you so much and catch you guys next time.